this computer. That's correct. Pastor David, the time is yours.
Amazing. How are you guys? Everything all right? Great. I can see everyone saying I'm fine, which is amazing. It's good to be back. I was here not long ago with the pathfinders on a Sunday, and it's good to be here with the adventures now, doing the saving animals adventure e-honor, which is very, very close to the one I did a few weeks ago to the pathfinders, which was on mammals. I'm not sure how many of you were able to watch, but even you adventures, I would encourage you to go to the pathfinder section and find it there, because you'd get a few things which can be used for this one as well. And we are actually planning the endangered animals, which is this one, but a bit more complex, which is for the pathfinders. So today we are going to be covering a few things. So basically, club directors, if you're actually watching us, when you go to the requirements of the saving animals honor for the adventures, you see the requirements, but then you'd compare the requirements that the owner asks them to do, and when you compare to this ones, you see that there is a few extra things here. So the extra things are actually intentional. So the intention is on that you adventures learn even more on saving animals, because this is such an important topic. So the requirements that we are going to be covering today are: why are animals endangered? Point 2, what happened to extinct animals? And why is the main question, isn't it? Identify and name at least 5 extinct animals. Point 4, learn about 5 endangered animals. Point 5, how many animals are currently on the endangered species list? And then you have to also collect pictures of at least 5 endangered animals, and you have to also name them. So the 6th point is, why should I save the endangered animals? So that's an extra to the honor, okay? And this one, the next one, is very, very, very important, because more than learning everything about the animals and the endangered animals, the main question is, what can I do to help? Do you love animals as I do? I'm pretty sure you do. Do you love the animals, Pastor NJ?
Oh, yes, we do. And let's just double check that, guys. If you do love animals, please put a heart in your comment section, or say yes in a chat section. We just want to make sure that our adventures really do love animals. That's really. Oh yeah, David, we had a first yes and the second one. So it seems to me that we do have. Oh, there's people who love animals. Who
the hearts are coming.
I'm not sure how many of them are able to see me, but let me show you something. So if you can see me, this is Rose and Cappuccino. They are our hamsters. You see them there? No, you don't see them, do you? But they are there somewhere. So those are our hamsters. So they sadly they don't live long. Their lifespan is just 2 years. And oh, I'm not sharing, am I?
Yeah, I was trying to show the cage a little bit closer.
No, it's fine. Now, you know, these hamsters are so great. However, they sleep all day long, and they spend all night long playing. They play all night long. So don't do that, kids at home. Okay, don't do that. One more. So yes, the most important question is, what can I do to help? And then I'll have to stop sharing again, because the next requirement is make a poster or booklets encouraging people to save endangered animals and show it to someone. So we've got a big surprise for you as we close. Can you see this? You can actually see this, can't you? this is a very cool banner or poster or booklet that Talita, my daughter, prepared. And she is actually going to explain it to you at the end of today's presentation. So don't go anywhere, okay? Don't go anywhere, because she's looking forward to show that to you and to perhaps inspire you to do something. And I'm pretty sure that you are going to share that with us. And as the week goes, we can actually show that to you on the Facebook, on the BUC Facebook page, as they do on a weekly basis.
That's right, Pastor David, thank you so much for mentioning that. Make sure, guys, that when you do your poster, when you do your requirements, make sure that you send those to my email, which is dejan@adventist.uk. And I just posted that in the chat room. And guys, it's a Dejan, it's spelled DEJAN @adventist.uk. And send me before Wednesday morning, if it's possible, so that we can publish it next Wednesday for you.
Great, thank you. And perhaps, Pastor Dan, if you allow me to, we know that school time, even though some of you, or most of you, wherever you are, were out of school. Some of you were being homeschooled during lockdown. Okay, some of you are back to school, and some of you are not back to school, even though most of you were busy. So we understand your holidays time is coming. So we here in Plymouth, in the southwest of England, we prepared, actually the youth leader and the Pathfinders director, we are working together. So leaders, parents, if you can hear me, if you are actually there, let me share something that we did. We have actually prepared a schedule of honors in case some of you were not able to catch up everything every Saturday or Sunday. Okay, so we prepared a schedule of a weekly schedule, so you can go and watch what you are not able to do so. And the last requirement is memorize Proverbs chapter 12, verse 10, which we are actually going to do so as well. But before anything, let me tell you, the 3 most endangered animals on the planet at this time are: number 3, kakapo. I'm not entirely sure that's the right pronunciation, but I love him. Look at how beautiful. So the kakapo, they are critically endangered with only, can you imagine that? Only 140 individuals remaining. And look at that. Each of those have a specific name. If you imagine the roads or the streets or the avenue that you live, there are, for most of us, there are much more than 140 people. And when it comes to that beautiful animal, just, can you imagine that? Just 140. And what's the second most endangered animal, which is actually a mammal? It's the AMUR leopard. So unfortunately, it's one of the most endangered big cats. They are called big cats, and they are critically endangered. And between 2014 and 2015, look at that, only 92, only just 92 left within their natural range. That number now, as we talk, is estimated to be less than 70. So that's absolutely sad, because look at how beautiful. And this very last one, the vaquita, for those of you who are familiar with Spanish, it means little cow in Spanish. And the vaquita is both the smallest and the most endangered marine animal in the world. It has been classified as critically endangered. And in 2018, there were only around between 6 to 8 to 22 vaquitas left. And guess what? July 2019, literally just 9, which is sad. Look at how beautiful the vaquita is. But then the question that comes to my mind and to your mind as well is, why are animals endangered? And that's a very important question. And when you go to the worksheet, the things that you have to fulfill in order to get the honor, the badge, and you'd have to point at least 10 things. You know, let me tell you, the words there are not very easy for us to understand. So I'm going to try and give you a few examples of what it exactly means. So the first one, however, we are going to have some quizzes during these 10 points, these 10 topics. So Pastor Dan, how do you want them to reply to the quiz?
When it comes to quiz, we always use chat and comment section. That is the best way, David, if that's okay with you.
Yes, absolutely. So either on Zoom or on Facebook for those that are live streaming.
Yes.
Very nice, very good. So you are actually starting now. So point one, reason one for extinctions, for endangered animals, overhunting. So what comes to your mind? So this has been the fate of most large animals, slow animals and tasty animals, when humans have migrated to a previously uninhabited area. So it means that place was just for animals. In some parts, so in so many parts of the world, humans have hunted certain animals to extinction or almost extinction. The predator animals that feed on these now extinct animals have also suffered, not only because they might also have been hunted, but because they no longer have a source of food. So they have no food anymore. And people are actually using them for many, many reasons. So here we start the quiz, okay? So is it his fault? Is it her fault? Is it their fault? Not me, not me. It's good to say, oh, it's not my fault. But let's see what we can learn. Whose actions lead to this? So referring to this very first question, whose actions lead to this? Is it human or nature? What do you think?
All right, the chat is open for everybody, as well as a Facebook comment section. And then and let us hear, is it option A or option B? Please do post your comments.
What do we have there, Pastor Dan?
At the moment, it seems to me everybody is anonymous. There is it's everybody is saying it is option A. Let's just wait a few seconds for our audience on the Facebook, because they're a few seconds behind us, and our audience is writing as well there, and they're saying the humans are responsible. Option A.
So let's see then what the correct. Oh yes, you are actually right. So it's mainly because of, you know, we humans that overhunting is taking place. So question two, habitat loss. More and more land being cleared for farming, natural water sources being extracted or diverted, leaving dried out river beds and lakes. Mining and the movements of humans have either destroyed the only habitats in which some species can survive. So do you like the place where you live? Do you like your bed? Do you like your house? And I think the animals also like where they live. So whenever they lose the place where they live, you know, you can expect trouble. So the question is, whose actions lead to this? Is that human or nature? Human or nature cause? What do you think?
All right, let's have a look. Again, we have option A and option B. Let's have a look what our amazing adventurers will say this time, Pastor David. So we're just giving a few seconds for our adventurers to respond to this. Also for our adventurers on the Facebook. So it seems to
looks like a lot of A on this one, Dan.
Is it? Let's see then. Let's see what is the correct answer. Yes, the correct answer is A. Okay, third reason why high specialization. Any changes such as changing climate or habitat loss can cause problems. The reason why is because some species have specific habitat requirements. Some animals, they know exactly where to hunt, to make an ambush. So when things change, they can hunt or they cannot hunt or do anything else as they don't know the new place where they live. So what's the problem there? Whose actions lead to this? What do you think, guys? What do we have there, Pastor Jay?
Well, once again, it looks like we've got an overwhelming number of A's, both on our Zoom here, and looking at Facebook, the guys are catching up. And what do you think the response is going to be? I think on Facebook, well, it's yet to come on, but here it's overwhelmingly an A.
Okay, let's see what the answer is. Yes, so it is A. For pollution, although nobody's able to point one specific cause for the recent rapid decline in numbers, okay, when the numbers of a specific species goes down, it appears that much of it is due to pollution. Pollution is something that cannot be seen but harm the environment. For example, and here we have an example. The Peregrine Falcon almost became extinct in Canada when a chemical compound was widely used prior to becoming banned in the US and Canada in 1971. So pollution, what's the cause? Who causes pollution? Is that the human or the nature who causes pollution? What do you think? What do we have there? Is that A or B? Who causes pollution?
Well, it looks like so far there's an overwhelming response saying, hey, the guys on Facebook are really catching up and they're giving us the A's as well.
Okay, let's see the answer. So the answer is A, humans. Okay, so invasive species, this one looks like very complex, but it's not. I can tell you guys, it's not that complex. So invasive species, it means that they are not local to that specific area, are a major cause of loss of diversity of both plants and animals. A familiar example is the brown tree snake arriving in Guam on a cargo ship. The venomous brown snake has reduced the number of local birds, not only birds, but fruit, bat, and lizard population. So what's the cause? Whose actions lead to this? Is that human or nature? What do you think? What do you think? Is it human or nature? Who causes that? The animals to go somewhere else? Is that human or nature? What do you think? What do we have there?
I think, again, we have very wise children here, adventurers, who are really bold and giving us those answers, and they're typing away, and we are seeing a lot of A's as well.
Oh, again.
Both on both platforms. Yeah, that's very good.
Very nice. So let's see the answer. The answer is, oh, B.
It caught me out too.
Did it? Next one, next one. Human-wildlife conflict. Our population is constantly increasing and more people move into areas where wildlife previously lived. Sadly, farmers feel the need of protecting their plants and their animals by hunting animals and killing them. Who do you think? Whose actions lead to this? What do you think? What do we have there? I have to confess, I did try to keep on the chat, but it's you know, it's making me um, be a bit just. Oh yeah, somebody's even say A B A B A B. So it's a good one actually. It can be. It can be. So can we have the answer to that? Do you think, Pastor NJ, are you ready for that?
Pastor Dan, you need to help me on this one, because the
Are you
last
ready?
time I I equally thought with a few. Do you want to maybe come back to that one, David, about the previous one? Because a few were a bit disappointed with
Where
their
that?
answer. Maybe you can explain it a little more. But for this one, what we are seeing so far, or what I am seeing here, there's a lot of A's. One is just filling the whole screen. So there's A's, and well, I've seen some B's as well on Facebook. So yeah, back to you.
Okay, all right. Let's see then. It's human. Okay, it is human. So on this one, you're talking about this one.
Yes.
Okay, so our population is constantly increasing, and we know that, and more people move into areas where wildlife previously lived. Sadly, farmers feel the need of protecting their plants and animals by hunting animals and killing them. So is that the question?
Yes. Yes.
So
Thank
what's
you.
the cause? The cause is human, correct?
That's what they thought. I thought the answer came out with a B saying nature,
No,
but
it's
you've
human.
told us. Thank you. Thank you.
No
Thank you very
problem.
much.
I may have gone to this long to the wrong slide, which I apologize if that was the case. So diseases, they kill humans and animals alike. The Ebola virus killed 5,000 critically endangered Western gorillas between 2002 and 2003 in a specific place called Lossi Sanctuary, and other hundreds of gorillas in this particular place in 2003, 2004. So diseases, what's the cause then? Who causes that? Whose actions lead to this? What do we think? What do you think, guys? Can I see your answers? And again, I apologize for the hard, complex words there, and I know they are not very easy to process, to understand for some of the little ones. But I'm pretty sure either your coordinators, your moderators, your parents can go further on a particular topic. So what do we have there, NJ?
We've got a mixture of both B's and A's on this one, but I think we've got more B's.
More bees. Yes, it can actually be both. Look at that.
Wow.
It can be both. I'm sorry, I should have said that. We can have the same, actually, both answers to a particular question. Question 8, low birth rate. Some species do not reproduce very often, and they may have few babies. I'm not sure if that's the right expression, babies, but my son did say to me, this is the right way. So babies, each time when they breed, other species may take a number of years until they are able to reproduce, reducing their opportunity to breed over their lifetime. In other words, we have fewer babies, okay, than in past. It's called the low birth rate. It's again a complex concept, but I'm sure your club director, your counselors, coordinators, or even your parents can explain that a bit more. So the question is, whose actions lead to this, to the question, low birth rate? Okay, so I mean, depending on your point of view, you can be right. So I wouldn't say there is the right and wrong here. but there is what I think is correct, is the correct answer. What do we have there, NJ?
Well, once again, we've got both B's and A's just flashing out on the screens here.
Okay, so I do have
nature,
yeah,
human,
I do have
nature.
B as my answer, and hope that's okay with you. So I do have B as my answer, okay? And I hope that helps. So the next one, genetic. Oh, this is a hard one, isn't it? It's yeah, Natalie's is I'm sure there, and I'm so sorry, Natalie. I tried my best to make it very adventure language. So genetic vulnerability. So some species are not too strong to changes in the environment they live. Okay, so some animals don't like changes. Whenever you cut, okay, let's be very, um, let me try that. Whenever you cut a tree, which a particular type of bird used to live or likes or feeds from, there is trouble. For example, if a population does not have a gene that is resistant to a certain disease, that disease may wipe out the entire population suddenly. Okay, does that make sense to you? I think that makes sense. That makes sense. So they are vulnerable, genetically speaking. Okay, question, whose actions lead to this? What do you think, guys? Is it human or nature?
So whose actions of the genes that are weak? Can we use weak for vulnerability?
Absolutely.
So the genes that are weak. Okay, good. What we are saying here, Pastor David, is, oh, we've got a mix again, A's and B's. And
okay.
just the guys on Facebook, they're beginning to come through as well. B, yeah.
Okay, let's see then. Let's see, can we see the answer? The answer is B. So it's really nature. Okay, and the last point on the first requirement is small population. Some species can be found only in certain areas. The other day when I did mammals, somebody did say that the only mammal that they have in New Zealand is the bat, is a particular type of bat. I'm not entirely sure how true that is, but that makes sense and exemplifies what I'm trying to say here. So if there are only a limited number of individuals of a species that are in existence to begin with, and the environment changes, there is a lower probability that such a species will survive in the future. Okay, so rare species can easily become extinct in the face of hunting. For example, the Sumatran tiger is an example of a rare species that was overhunted to the point of extinction. What does it mean? What does it mean extinction? As there is no more of those. Okay, and there were a very limited number of individuals to begin with. So what do we think is small population? Whose actions lead to this? Is it human or nature? What do we think? Is it human or nature? What do we have there? Apparently,
okay.
Yeah, go on.
Yes, we've got B's and A's as well. I think we have more B's from what I have seen on this side. And now as Facebook comes on, it's, well, we've got A's and B's.
Okay, very nice. I did accidentally press something. So I showed you the answer before some of you were able to reply. So it is A. So leading us to another quiz time. So this is, oh, look at those. They are cool. I would love to have some of those as my pets. They are amazing. Look at that. And what's the words? Most endangered sea turtle. Is that the Cam's Ridley sea turtle? Is that the leatherbacks or the larger heads? Is it A, B, or C? To be honest, I don't expect you to know that, okay? It's more about information than anything. But yeah, have a guess. Have a guess. What's the most endangered sea turtle? What do we have there? Do we have A, B, or C? MJ, what do we have there?
Well, we've got all of those, David. A, B, and C. But now I think I'm seeing more C's coming through. And as we've put up, guys, if you can just type one letter, that would be good. It looks good, just a single letter.
Okay, right. Let's see what the answer is. So the answer to this, oh, look at that. That's her. That's her, and she's actually smiling. Oh, look at how beautiful she is. And the answer is A. So whoever puts A got it right. So what happened? You have that question, okay, on your worksheet. What happened to extinct animals, and why is the question? About 24 species were declared extinct, or nearly so, in 2019, although the total number of species lost this year probably numbers in the thousands. Scientists typically wait years or even decades before declaring a species well and truly extinct, and even then only after conducting extensive searches. Why? Because imagine, they cannot find any species, any individual from that species, so they keep looking and searching everywhere to make sure there are no others from that particular species, okay? So this is very complex, but not really, because they classify the animals as extinct, no more individuals. Extinct in the wild, so you don't find any in the forests. Critically endangered, you'd find them in the sanctuaries, and in the wild as well. Endangered, not too bad, vulnerable, and that's what they treat as threatened. The other ones from the blue, green, and grays, that's fine. Okay, this is just some extra information to you. Oh, look at this one. Look at this one. The last, look at that, the very last individual of this Hawaiian tree snail known as Lonesome George died in captivity on New Year's Day. Disease and invasive predators drove it to the extinction. These tiny creatures' disappearance probably generated the most media attention of any lost species in 2019. So that's very, very sad. Oh, look at this one. This is the yellow-footed turtle. This is the most beautiful animal for me, but sadly, she is extinct. She actually comes from my home country, which is Brazil, but she's not there anymore. She is now extinct, and which is very, very sad. So quiz time. True or false? The polar bear was the first animal added to the endangered species list due to what? Climate change. Do you think that's true or false? What can you say about that? Oh, some of you would say, chill out, I got this. But let's see what you say. Let's see, true or false? The first animal added to the endangered species list is the polar bear. Have you got this one? NJ, did you get this one? What do you think?
Well, so many people are saying true, David. So that's the answer that we are getting here.
Cool, cool. Let's see. Can I get the next slide? Not yet.
Well, just hold on a bit so that the guys on Facebook can give us their answers, and they're also mainly saying true.
True. All right, let's see. Yes, that's true. That's true. Okay, so let's see. Identify is another requirement that you have to fulfill. Identify and name at least 5 extinct animals. So I have got some for you. Okay, this is, look at how beautiful that boy is. So the western lowland gorilla, beautiful, isn't it? So let's see the next one. The next one, hazel dormice are animals with big black eyes and golden brown orange fur. They are most commonly found in multi vegetation, and look at their diet is very, very diverse, from oak and willow flowers in spring to even caterpillars in summer. Look at that. So his diet changes according to the season. Look at this one, also referred to as the Highland tiger, the Scottish. NJ, did you know that? It comes from where you are. The Scottish.
I had no clue about that, and thank you.
No problem. So the Scottish wild cat is the only living native feline,
yeah.
Feline in the UK. Okay, these small tigers, as they call, look just like domestic cats, but are typically bigger and heavier. They also have stripy furs and bushy tails with blunt tips and black bands. It's believed that wild cats settled in the country thousands of years ago. Look at that. This is impressive. So how about the UK? Because most of you, forgive me the others that are not UK based, but look at that. You'd say, oh, hedgehogs are very common. They are very, look at that. They are very familiar creatures in children's stories and even in campaigns, helping us to learn how to cross the road safely. However, their numbers, can you believe that, have fallen by 50% since the year 2000. The population is instead dying in urban areas, but declining in rural areas. And some campaigners have said that this is in part due to a decrease in the number of hedgerows in farmlands across the UK. Okay, so that's very sad as well. So how many animals are actually endangered? Look at that. Is it just 4? No. Is it like this? Dozens, and even, 20 something? No. Is it this? Yes. So this is approximately the number of species that become extinct on a yearly basis. Okay, they disappear completely, not specifically this ones, which is very sad. Okay, NJ and Pastor NJ and Pastor Dan, we get now, so I've got 15 minutes. So over the next 15 minutes, I'm going to share some tips with you. This is an extra, guys. You are getting an extra, okay, on top of the requirements that you have to fulfill. Why is the question? Why save endangered animals? Look at that little cat there, and look at that firefighter. Look at that, giving water to the little, is that koala? I think so. Okay, some reasons, just some reasons. One, for the enjoyment of future generations. Did you see those guide dogs before? I'm pretty sure you did. one of the strongest arguments for saving endangered animals is simply that we want to. We get a lot of pleasure out of seeing and interacting with animals. The species that go extinct now are no longer around us or future generations to see and enjoy. They can only learn about them in the books and on the internet, and that is absolutely heartbreaking. Reason 2 for the environment and other animals. Look at that beautiful bee. Did you see a bee like that before? I'm not sure. Everything in nature is connected. If you remove one animal or plant, it upsets the balance of nature, can change the ecosystem completely and may cause other animals to suffer. For example, bees may seem small and insignificant, but they have a huge role to play in our ecosystem. They have pollinators. This means they are responsible for the reproduction plants. Without bees, look at that, without bees, many plant species would go extinct, which would upset the entire food chain. And the third reason, which is not limited to 3, okay, but I brought 3 reasons for you. Many of our medicines have come from or been inspired by nature. The loss of plants and animals to extinction takes with it the potential for new cures and drugs that we have yet to discover. Okay, so question, and this is actually the main question: what can I do to help? Just literally oh wow, look at that, I jumped out of the chair almost. That's a beautiful boy, isn't it? Look at that. Protect wildlife habitats. Habitat loss is one of the biggest causes of extinction. Okay, do your bit to preserve wildlife habitats. Volunteer to maintain a local nature reserve. Campaign against deforestation, or create a space for nature in your garden.
That sounds excellent, Pastor David. So is there more that they can do in this area? I think you referred earlier on to what some of the leaders could also try and do, because I think most boys and girls, most of the adventurers would want to help to protect these endangered animals.
This is very, very true. So perhaps parents, leaders, bring your kids together and ask them and suggest things to them that they can do to preserve them. Yeah, I did see some raised hands, but I don't think we take hands, do we?
Not quite, especially as we are rounding off your section and moving to the next one. And so you can just put something on the chat, guys, and we will try and respond to it, either Pastor David later or ourselves here.
Very good. So if you see Pastor NJ, anything there which is relevant, please share with me, okay? I'm more than happy. And recycle, guys. Recycling is very, very, very important. Oh, look, I love this one. Look at that. Make certain that your home is not a hazard to wildlife. The first thing you can do is to secure all of your trash so that animals cannot get to it. You see? So this is very, very important. Oh, look at that. I live in the southwest of England, and this is a picture. All of the other pictures are not mine, but this one is mine. I was driving the other day through a place called Dartmoor Park. They call that the moors, and it's very common to see animals like that. What do I have to do, NJ? Really speed up? What do I have to do?
Okay, yeah. You've got about, let's say, 5 more minutes to round up, 5 to 7 minutes. Is that fair for you?
Yes, but I'm actually talking about my car.
Oh, sorry.
When
you want to round up?
Yeah, when I see animals like that, what do I do? if I'm driving, let's say, in Scotland, what do I do?
Well, we, the Scots, would love you to slow down
Oh,
and let the animals have a way.
very good. So that's what I did. Sorry, I should have been more clear on my question.
I'm trying to follow all the things that are happening. So sorry, I should have been more
totally
attentive.
fine. No problem. So one more, turn off the lights. The more energy that is used, the more pollutants that are put into the environment. By limiting your energy consumption, you are limiting the amount of pollutants being put in the environment by power plants. It might seem as though one person can't make a difference, but the more people that do this, the bigger impact it will have. So let me do something. I just turned the light off and you can still see me. Look at that. So do that if you can. Okay, so Talita, I'll have Talita now to show and to explain to us. We have a few more minutes and Talita is gonna come and she's going to explain to us what she means by that, because one of the requirements is that you make a poster or booklet encouraging, Talita, just come on. Talita is going to explain, because one of the requirements is that you make a poster encouraging others to save endangered animals, and you have to show it to someone. So as a source of, ideas, Talita is going to explain what she, oh, bless you, what she prepared. So
boys and girls, do we want to give a thumbs up as Talita gets ready? Do you want to give her a big thumbs up to Talita? Good to see you, Talita. We're happy that you can be a part of the program.
Very nice. Talita, what do we have here?
It's a poster to protect endangered animals.
What's that?
It's a poem that me and my mum made.
What is that?
It's a poster to protect the animals.
Okay, so what, can you read something that you put there for us?
Yeah. Make a difference, save the world, recycle, Odzala-Kokoua.
So no littering, what does that mean, Talita? What does that mean to recycle?
Recycle is to, when you've eaten something that's in a plastic bag or something, you don't just throw it on the floor, you recycle it.
You find the right bin, correct?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Can you say bye-bye to them, Talita?
Bye.
Bye, Talita.
Hi, everyone. Not yet. No, just bye to Talita. Let me share my screen again as I am about to finish. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way. Oh, what's going on? Oh, hold on. All right. So you can actually see. So I would love to see your banners, your posters. Okay. So please share that with us, as I would love to see your posters as well. And the very last requirement is that you memorize and recite Proverbs 12:10. And perhaps, Pastor Dan, I'm not sure if they are allowed to, Pastor NJ, to make recordings of themselves reciting Proverbs 12:10 and share with you. Is that an idea as well?
Yep, that's a very good idea, David. Why not? And even if you don't share it with us, you can always share with a family member, because we don't see them as often we want, and just make sure that they get it.
Amazing. So Proverbs 12:10 says, a righteous man regards to the life of his animal. So a righteous man is a man according to God's own heart. But the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. He who tills his land will be satisfied with bread, but he who follows frivolity is devoid of understanding. The wicked covet the catch of evil men, but the root of the righteous yields fruit. Okay, so this is one of the most powerful Bible verses for me, because it simply says that you and me have to take care of what God gave us. And this actually brings us to the final to the end of my presentation. It's been an absolutely joy to be with you, and I thank you so much once again for your time.
Well, thank you very much to you, Pastor David, and all the boys and girls who want to join in saying thank you to Pastor David. Okay, great stuff.